Guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and thank you very much for checking out the video today. We are going to be talking about what is the most difficult thing about bass fishing, the hardest thing about it, and sort of give you guys some tips and advice on how to get around that and make it where it's not so hard. So going to be a good conversation with that today. And guys, real quick, I just wanted to remind everybody about our August sale on the Solar Bat series, RB2 series, my signature series sunglasses. If you buy a pair in the month of August, you get 30% off the glasses. And if you have a purchase over $56, you also get a grab bag full of sunglasses from Solar Bat. So I'll put that Solar Bat link in the description of my signature series glasses if you're interested in that. Much appreciated. Okay guys, I wonder if anybody can guess what this is. The most difficult thing about bass fishing by far, and what you need to do to make it not so hard. The number one thing that makes bass fishing so hard, and the most difficult part about it, is that you cannot control what the fish are doing, and you cannot predict what the fish are going to do. As much as you read on YouTube, as many YouTube videos as you watch, as much as you read, as much television shows you watch on bass, as much information that you can assimilate on bass fishing, you cannot control or predict what fish are going to do. They don't read books, they don't follow directions. Any information that you get, whether it's on this channel or another channel or what you read about, it just basically serves as a foundation to begin your hunt and your search with for fish. Now, first of all, one of the reasons this is true, it's like, let me talk for example about like seasonal patterns of fishing. It's like there's seasonal patterns and movements of the fish that are pretty much, it encompasses, like water temperatures in different times of the year, like winter, cold water, spring, waters are warming and the fish are spawning, the early summer, post-spawn, warmer water, and then the cycle continues in the fall like that. And there are some things that you can do where fish, generally behave in a certain way, but it's never that way. It's never easy, and it's never exact. You can do, say for example, you can watch a YouTube video about how to catch bass in the month of May. And they may give you some tips and techniques to do that, but rarely do you go out there and everything falls into place exactly how you read that it's supposed to. There's variables at play there that throw a wrench into that, and those variables usually include any type of weather patterns or weather changes that come in. It can be environmental conditions such as different water visibilities, different water levels. All that type of stuff plays an impact into what fish do year to year. And that's why it's very difficult to go back to a place that you've caught fish a year ago at the same week or the same time of year and expect those fish to be there. Because usually what happens is fish use a certain location in a body of water because it lines up perfectly with all of those variables we talked about, the light intensity, sunlight levels, the amount of clouds or rain in the sky, the wind direction, the wind speed, the water visibility, how much precipitation has raised the lake or drop it. All those factors change constantly. They're never ever the same. That's why one thing usually doesn't work over and over again. It would be great if it did, but it just doesn't like that. So point is what can you do about it? First of all, you got to start somewhere. It's like when you go bass fishing, it's like you got to have some idea what to begin with, and usually you got to sort of have a game plan in your mind about what part of the lake you want to fish with what lures. And that is where information that you get like on YouTube and like on my channel or other channels and that you read about plays a big part. Because let's say that you're going to go fishing in the month of August, and you read and you do a lot of research on where these fish should be and what lures they want. That gives you a starting point. And say that you get out there and maybe something's working a little bit but not real great or not working, at least you can make little adjustments out there and usually wind up finding the fish. Say for example, I tell you guys in the month of August that you need to fish the dirtiest water in the lake with a little shad pattern crankbait and try to catch fish off lay down trees or something like that. Yeah, you may go up there and everything looks right and you can't get them to bite a little shad pattern crankbait. They just won't bite it. Maybe something, for whatever reason, the mood and the personality of the fish may be a little bit different, and instead of that little crankbait, maybe they want a little spinner bait, or maybe they want a creature bait or a jig flipped by a stump. you don't ever know, because the fish, like I said, they change what they want every single day out there, but at least it gives you a starting point. And the best way that you can do it, let's say, for example, that you're getting ready to go fishing and you buy like one of our Fish the Moment Lake Map breakdowns or whatever, or you watch a YouTube video on a topic, and you get out there and try fishing and it's not working. The best thing you can do is try something for get something like 30 minutes or something. Try a certain lure or a certain, type of cover you're fishing for 30 minutes. And if it's not working, just make a little bit of adjustment. Change up your lures a little bit. Or instead of going down a row, say you're fishing back in the creek and there's like a row of boat docks on the right, and across the creek on the other side there's a rocky bank. If you've worked down those boat docks real thoroughly with a couple different lures, move over to that little rocky bank and throw a crankbait over there. Fishing is nothing but it's elimination is what it is. It's like the only variable between you catching fish and not catching fish is how long it takes you to find them. And that's the difference between a really good bass angler and people starting out, is the time frame that it takes them to locate and find a fish is different than somebody starting out new. A top level angler, they can assimilate that information that they see on the lake and make adjustments, where somebody that doesn't have the experience, that assimilation process is a little bit slower. So anyway, guys, that one of the biggest things, the piece of advice I can give you is, don't get locked into the information that you got is like set in stone, because it's never set in stone. It's always fluid and it's always changing. And if you adapt and you change with that, you'll be a lot better off. So anyway, hope it helps. See you guys later.